Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Thursday, the 15th of May 2025. So bonds and bullion battered, stocks scattered as USA sovereign risk tops Greece and China. This is an interesting one. And again, we're dominated by trade policy uncertainty is plunging along with rate cut expectations. Well, we'll see when we get to the end of the 90-day postponement whether that comes to fruition or not. But US stocks finished mixed in choppy trade amid higher yields and lack of major catalyst ahead of the Fed Chair Powell's comments. And stocks chop amid yield rise as rate cuts bets trim ahead of Powell. So let's have a look at this. Powell is speaking at 1:40 p.m. today, so obviously there's a lot of focus upon this. And other news, GDP from the UK flat. Prelim GDP as well, and then we head over to the US for the core PPI, core retail, PPI monthly, retail sales, unemployment claims, Empire State and Philly Fed Index. So a day filled with economic news and an excuse for the market to be moved around. So let's have a look at the markets, see how they fared during yesterday and kick off with the Dow. So in the Dow yesterday, the market's starting to look slightly weakish. We're still going back to the all-time highs, but the old adage, sell in May, go away, is starting to take effect here as markets become sideways to lower. There's no decent news around to move markets to the upside. You may get a bit at 140. Certainly follow through there in the cash markets in the US as well. But at the moment, there's some weakness around, and it's to be expected after the bounce that we've seen in the last few weeks. It could be and turn out to be a dead cat bounce if the markets wish to pull back. Got all of these lines here that you can use to draw fib retracements in where the market's likely to find support on the downside, etc. And as each one is trades down to its 89, we then just move down on these lines to the next ones and then just keep, say, moving down if they're taken out. But at the moment, the Dow looks like a bit of a problem there, particularly overnight. We've seen prices drop sharply. We're below the lower at the S1 at the moment. So obviously, Powell hinting at no rate cut is what's giving the market a bit of a downside pressure as I record this morning. And in the German DAX, again, we've had a massive move of 5,000 points. We're in May. The market needs to consolidate or trade sideways to lower as again, it's just a massive move. It just needs to breathe for a while. So we're seeing a bit of weakness there. And in the 30-minute chart, same thing. Market opened yesterday, moved up to the high. I'll talk about this in more detail when we get to the 2-minute daily DAX. Then we sold off down to the low. Market bounced off the low. You see the buying coming in. We're oversold. Prices then get back above the 200, then they retest this in the afternoon, and overnight at the moment the 30-minute DAX shows prices below the 200, the 20, the 50 and just the 5 as well. So we're interesting point here, an inflection point where we could see the DAX move back to the upside. We'll find out when we get to 7 a.m. And across the pond again, the S&P trying to move higher yesterday, coming under attack with supply coming into the markets. Currently above the 200 MA. The question is, can it stay above there? At the moment, it's looking a bit slim. But as I say, nothing major in the background. It's just a matter of going into the summer where you get this lull in prices. 30 minutes in the S&P, well, very choppy is the only word, as it said in the headlines. But interestingly enough, we're just below the low at the moment from yesterday as well. You can see the market is trying to do its best to try and hold at this level. Meanwhile, in the UK, market's also starting to drift slightly lower there, but holding, stuck in a sideways move, again, waiting for news. And again, in the 30-minute chart, you can see prices coming back to the 200, testing this, and then moving back up to 89% before moving back down. Struggling with the 200 MA there, but managing to pull back off this. But we've got a gap, I notice now, overnight in this market, and we're down at the low. So it needs to fill the gap there and try and move back to the upside. US dollar bouncing yesterday put huge pressure on the metals, down slightly overnight. So let's have a look at those metal prices. So silver moving lower, as I said yesterday, we can expect more on this as well to continue lower. In fact, I'm going to be really negative here. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't go back down and retest more of these levels. You can see there that we've got support at two levels. Just drawing this in, we've got 31.50, 31.41. For me, we're heading down in these to these levels, so certainly down to $30 per ounce. The sideways move has got a hold here at this 200 MA. Failure to do that, we head down to $30 per ounce. Look at the 30-minute again. You can see they just love it, don't they? 1:30 p.m. whack straight down, and a quiet trade overnight as well. Below yesterday's low, and lower is where we're going with this. The same for the gold market as well. This is taking out the support at 31.93. So $3,000 an ounce is more likely where we're heading to with this market as well. There's 2,956, and again we can just draw all of these lines in now, because that's where we're going down to 3,016 as prices come under pressure. And again, if Powell doesn't cut rates, even more so, there's going to be pressure down to that 29.56 level. 30-minute chart again, lunchtime LBMA overnight. The market's quite managed to smash it out. A lot of volume there as well. It's obviously taking some effort to do this. Am I bearish on gold and silver? No, absolutely not. They're just taking advantage of the opportunity to move prices lower. Central banks have never bought so much gold as they're buying, and it's just a matter of the market consolidating. It needs to do this in order to move, take the next leg to the upside and head towards that all-time high of 3,500, and then beyond that to some far greater numbers. But it doesn't happen in 5 minutes. But short term, that's where the market's going. It's going lower. So in the gold-silver ratio, this also indicative of that as well. We've got the sort of 89% retracement there, starting to turn green and head back above 100 in the gold-silver ratio as well. Right, let's have a look at yesterday's 2-minute trades in the German DAX. So in yesterday morning's market alert, I spoke about the market taking out the previous day's high, and said you could expect this between 7 and 8, and that's exactly what happened. You can read these traders like a book. They just, it's quiet, so we can move the market up, and then when the market opens, we can then turn the ship around. Market stops. You see the selling coming in with the red, hitting the BRN at 23,700. And then all we have to do is break the high to bring the market back, and bring it back they did. Market sailed all the way down to the 200 MA there. Once it broke the high, convincingly broke the high as well, driving through there and through the averages and making lower highs. The market gets a bit of a short covering there, so the market tries to bounce back, gets stopped at the 50, and then back to the 200 MA there and the DP as prices now start to come back, having shaken out a few of the longs. So here you've got a potential sell. Unfortunately, the MT4 platform came up by itself and got stuck on the screen. But not to worry, you can then see that we've got a sell there, back down to the 200 MA, and sitting on the close there at just after 9. Market then becomes very sluggish sideways, and then breaks to the downside, which you'll see in a moment. We had a buy there that failed, small loss, and then we hit the downside once it broke the DP. You can see there the market moving lower all the way down to the close before we start to see some climatic volume there as well, bringing the market back to the low. And of course, when we hit the low or go beyond, we have to bring the market back, and back it comes, which you can see there, trading all the way back up to the DP in the close before the Dow came online. Again, you can see the selling followed by the buying there with the green and the red. Same down here with the buying coming in, and there's some further buying there, but then we get into the Dow opening. Market moves down sharply, which you'll see there, 46 points, and I was hoping it was going to go down to the low, but not on this occasion, as prices just remain sideways, run out of steam. And again, you can see that the volume building here where the market was starting to hold. So as soon as you start to see prices sideways and the volume building, and you can expect a bit of a turnaround there, which you then see. Again, another loss there as the market failed to break the 50 EMA. It was finding support at the 200 MA, but then had to capitulate there and move back to the downside, which you can see. And then it went quiet, stuck in a range, but the market managing just to move up to the beyond the scalp there, and then after back down and retesting the low before moving back up off this area once more. And you can see those clusters of again of volume, and the same going forward here. You'll see that again as they try and hold the market to the upside. So at this point we get Microsoft interrupting proceedings, and the market's already, the trading session's finished, the cash market's closed, and with that the computer restarted. Let's just have a quick look at the overnight, and once again we're seeing a bit of weakness there. They're trying to buy back in here at the moment. You can see it's one of the biggest volume bars, apart from just after 6 a.m. when the market went up and they tried to hold it, but the selling took over the buying, and now we're just retesting at this level. There you go, it's just completed the bar and we've got a bit of green there. See if it can get back to the low. When it gets back to the low, if it fails, because all of the averages are in the right order, and also obviously we're below the DP as well, so bearish at the moment. Right, that will do it for this one, and let's see what happens with Powell's speech at 1:40. Okay, have a great day, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.